It's been a rough couple of months for JLo, and it doesn't look like things are getting any better. From her new music not charting well, backlash over her self-funded movie and documentary, having to cancel tour dates because of low ticket sales, and now having to rebrand her entire tour to hopefully get people interested. Things aren't looking good, and many people think JLo may have made a $20 million mistake. It's a mess, so let's get into it. Depending on what era you grew up in, you may know JLo more for her music, her acting, or for all the tabloid stories about her and Ben Affleck back in the early 2000s. I personally couldn't even tell you like a handful of her songs, maybe besides Jenny from the Block, but that's mainly because JLo won't let us forget about it, but I could list out every single rom-com that she's ever starred in. I think a lot of people probably do know her more from her hit movies, so if you told me that JLo was starring in the next best rom-com dropping this year, I would be thrilled. But that's not the path that she decided to go down. Back in November, she announced her 9th studio album, This Is Me Now, with the release date of February 2024. This was going to be her first album in nearly 10 years and was intended to celebrate the anniversary of her sister album, This Is Me Then, which was released back in 2002. This Is Me Then was all about her relationship with Ben Affleck. Shortly after meeting, they got engaged, and their relationship quickly became a circus for the paparazzi.
Jennifer Lopez. Is she getting married to Ben Affleck?
This is like being on the front line. You're really going for it.
But what about it? It's the question everyone wants to know. Are you engaged?
Yes.
Somewhere along the line, they postponed their wedding, which led to their official breakup in 2004. In 2021, Jennifer and Ben started being spotted together again, and although at the time media outlets were being told that it was just because they were friends and catching up, it ended up being much more. In July 2021, they went official on Instagram and finally ended up getting married in the summer of 2022. Her new album, This Is Me Now, is supposed to be all about her life, her career, and her relationship with Ben Affleck over these past 20 years since This Is Me Then. But JLo wasn't just going to do an album. This album was only part of a 3-part project she was working on. Alongside the album, she also announced a movie called This Is Me Now, A Love Story, and a documentary called The Greatest Love Story Never Told. The most shocking part, JLo was self-funding this multi-part project and had a budget of $20 million.
It was Jennifer's vision, and it was difficult to understand it. People didn't really understand what it was.
We didn't have, endless funds from a studio. This was a very independent project that I was self-financing.
There's been so much that has come out since this whole project was announced of people in JLo's life even being unsure about her doing this movie and documentary. Jane Fonda from Monster-in-Law was asked to be in the movie, and she even had her doubts about it as well. JLo included these doubts in her documentary and showed Jane Fonda being like, this kind of feels like you're trying to prove something to everyone instead of just living it. And it sounds like JLo maybe should have taken her advice because so far, the reaction to this movie is not looking good. The movie was described as being a story of Jennifer Lopez's journey to love through her own eyes, and as great as that sounds, many people feel like it's pure attention seeking. One of the top reviews on IMDb gave it a 2 out of 10 stars and had this to say about the film. Attention-seeking at its best. This movie to me felt like an hour-long music video rather than a cinematic experience. While I understand celebrities wanting to share their personal lives, this film seemed more like a public relations stunt than an authentic narrative. Jennifer Lopez's attempt to explain her very public relationships, particularly her rekindled romance with Ben Affleck, felt contrived and manipulative. It's as if she was trying to seek buy-in from her target audience, hoping they would accept her newfound love. The film left me disappointed and disgusted by the star's desperate attempt to garner attention and even redemption. Overall, I found the movie's title to be misleading as it failed to deliver a meaningful story or engage the audience on a deeper level. This seems to be the theme with a lot of reviews. A lot of people said it felt more like an SNL skit with a very confusing storyline, and it doesn't seem like actually watching the movie helped with people's confusion.
I just finished JLo's new movie. Where do I begin? If you're curious about the plot, so am I. and I just watched it. It's a movie no one asked for.
Now, you might think maybe the documentary would help redeem the movie. Maybe we would get some more insight into why she chose to do an album and a movie and a documentary, and finally understand her thought process better, but nope. This documentary has been getting dragged on the internet after clips of it started to go viral for all the wrong reasons. There's this clip of JLo sitting down with her team going over all the celebrities who turned down a part in her movie. Included in that list was Taylor Swift, Jennifer Coolidge, Ariana Grande, Snoop Dogg, Lizzo, and many more. A lot of the commentary around this clip was people being like, 1, what do these people even have to do with JLo and her love story? And 2, who said yes? Because so far, it sounds like a lot of people are saying no. Of course, we now know who said yes to being in it, but after this clip came out, there was some controversy over if she really asked all these people, or if she was just throwing in big names to create some drama for the documentary. Lizzo actually made a response video and said that she would have loved to be in her movie, but she never got a call about it.
Jennifer Coolidge not available, Lizzo not available.
Ain't nobody told me nothing. Nobody asked me. JLo, I love you.
There's also a clip going around of her trying to get Derek Huff and her being like, just get him here, we only need him for 2 days. And over again, she's being told that he's in a wedding, like he's getting married and he can't make it.
He's not gonna give up his wedding. I mean,
Whose wedding?
It's a wedding he's in.
I want you to call him.
Okay.
Someone in the comments said, imagine how entitled you must be to ask a man to cancel his wedding to be in a crappy movie that makes no sense. There's also a clip going around of her bringing up her Jenny from the Block era, and it's become a bit of a joke on TikTok.
I like taking my hair out like this. It reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block. A crazy little girl who used to be wild and no limits, all dreams and
People are saying that JLo is trying so hard to sound relatable by bringing up living on the block when she's been out of there for so many years and doesn't really do anything to help the community that she grew up in.
You are so far removed from the block, from the Bronx, other than making a celebrity-esque appearance to seem more relatable, but that you need to stop trying to hold on to being this person that you haven't been for the majority of your life at this point.
There is just so much negative discourse surrounding her movie and documentary. I'm starting to wonder if she wishes that she took Jane Fonda's advice and toned things down just a little bit. But let's move on to the main project, which was this album. This Is Me Now is JLo's first studio album in nearly 10 years, and clearly she had very high hopes for it. Investing $20 million of your own money and creating a movie and a documentary surrounding an album is a very risky gamble, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's paying off for her. It only sold 14,000 copies in the first week and landed at number 38 on the Billboard 200. On top of this new album, the movie, and her documentary, and despite all the criticism that she's faced, she decided to announce a world tour. On February 15th on the Today Show, JLo announced her This Is Me Now tour, which includes more than 30 cities across North America.
I will be going on tour this summer. Yes. yes, I'll be going on tour this summer. I think we start in Orlando, June 26th, and the tickets go on pre-sale next Tuesday.
Now, similar to her movie and her documentary, this tour is facing massive backlash. A lot of people were shocked to see just how expensive these tickets are. If you wanted to go to her Toronto show and do VIP and meet and greet, you're looking at nearly $7,000. If you wanted to sit in the first few rows without doing a meet and greet, those tickets are going for nearly $2,000. And the further you go back, you're still looking at a few $100s at least.
The cheapest tickets they have is $79.95 for the JLo Fan Club pre-sale, okay? And that's for section 200, all the way up there. Now, I wanted to check here from F2. This is F2, $1,495 to go see Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer, aren't you Jenny from the block? These ticket prices?
Not a lot of people right now have that kind of money to throw away on one night to see a concert. So because of these low ticket sales, JLo was forced to cancel some of her dates. Variety reported on the cancellations, writing, The dates spanning August 20th to 31st in Cleveland, Nashville, Raleigh, Atlanta, Tampa, New Orleans, and Houston were listed as canceled on Ticketmaster at some point on Wednesday. While the tour is still scheduled for a robust 30 shows, the large number of tickets at most of the tour dates remain unsold, judging by the seating charts on Ticketmaster.com. I guess her team realized that she needed to do something to help her get these tickets sold, so they decided to rebrand her tour. Instead of calling the tour This Is Me Now, they've changed the name to This Is Me Live, The Greatest Hits. I guess they're hoping the fans who grew up listening and loving JLo will see this as some sort of like Eras tour and drive up the sales from the fans who loved her old stuff. A lot of people just feel like JLo is kind of living in the past and doesn't realize how much the industry has changed. Yes, 20 years ago, the media would do anything to hear her and Ben Affleck's love story. 20 years ago, everyone would have ate up an album and a movie and a documentary, and especially a tour. But a lot of time has gone by, and people are saying JLo kind of needs to manage her expectations.
You gotta realize we aren't where we were 20 years ago. Times have changed, music has changed, and the landscape has changed, and sometimes a huge tour is just not what it's giving. And that is not even shade to Jennifer Lopez to say nobody wants to see her or nobody else wants to see anybody else whose tour got canceled or date got canceled. Like, that's not the case. But we gotta think about smaller venues. We gotta think about residencies. I feel like JLo could definitely have a residency.
And a lot of people in these comments have the same thoughts, writing, I think JLo's team didn't advise her well. I think they saw her capitalizing on concerts and movies like Beyonce and Taylor, not understanding she's not on the same level. JLo is Vegas residency material at this point in her career, and that's not meant to be shady. Why is she trying to sell stadiums like Beyonce? What JLo and her team forgot is to maintain a loyal fan base throughout the years. I really feel like she probably saw Beyonce selling out stadiums, she probably saw the success that Taylor's had with her Eras tour, and she thought maybe she could do the same thing. The only difference is, just like that comment said, it seems like she forgot to maintain that loyal fan base throughout all these years and just expected to jump back in and sell out tours with these crazy high prices. I think she's either going to have to drastically drop the prices down so people who love her can actually afford to go and have a good time, or she's going to have to cancel a lot of these dates because so far, things aren't looking good for her. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think she made a mistake spending $20 million of her own money on this project? And more importantly, do you think JLo regrets spending $20 million on it? It just seems like this could have been planned out so much better and done in a better way overall, but here we are. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.